Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026, and in this morning's video, I'm going to be bringing you your latest and greatest for today's weather. Not going to be going over any pattern discussion in this video, so if you clicked on this one for a pattern discussion or discussion of future storms, tune in this evening as I'll be going over all of that then. This video is just for your daily weather as we're getting started. It's now 8:13 p.m. a.m. Sorry, I've literally just woken up, so we're going to see how this goes. So, like this video if you like it, subscribe if you've not done so already. Please leave a comment down below where you're watching from. It'd be greatly appreciated. Starting off with this frame right here, we can just see a lot of energy still rolling through the western areas of the U.S. There's a lot more snow with this as of now than there was rain yesterday. We still have some snow working its way through the northeast here. Otherwise, very quiet. Pretty similar look to yesterday. Watches, warnings, and advisories look like this. It's very hard to look at this map, guys. I know it's hard for you guys to tell what you're looking at. If we focus kind of out west, in these purple right here are winter weather advisories. You see quite a few of those scattered around. These pink and the higher elevations are winter storm warnings. We have wind-related warnings, extreme cold warnings in areas of California here. Wind advisories in this kind of tan. We do have high wind watches and warnings in effect for some of these areas of the central U.S. And then if you work your way into the central U.S., all of these are fire related. Red flag warnings, we have PDS, particularly dangerous situation. Red flag warnings as well. High wind warnings in these areas. We'll go over this wind stuff in this morning's video as well because it is involved with today's weather. And then working our way north, we do have a few wind advisories. But looking at this, you can probably see it here. This little kind of belt of warnings along the border. This is associated with a winter storm that we are about to see pretty soon. We do have blizzard warnings in effect. We have gotten those for areas a little bit further to the west than I would have originally anticipated. But we do have blizzard warnings in areas of Montana here. And then you can work your way east. Winter storm warnings in areas in North Dakota. We still have winter storm watches in some areas. Winter storm warnings here. And then this little area right here in northeast Minnesota is a blizzard warning. So this is for this winter storm. A few more winter storm warnings in areas of the UP of Michigan. A lot in the UP of Michigan, actually. And all of these kind of aquamarine colors, if you will, are just fog related, most of them. So nothing too crazy, but areas out west are really starting to ramp up. And if you are in central areas of the U.S., please do not burn outside. The conditions are absolutely terrible for fire weather. If you were to start something, you would have little to no time to contain it before it was a huge deal. So moving on. Here's the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. Not going to go into the future. We're going to do that in this evening's video. This is just today's outlook. So we can see along a lot of areas of the West Coast, we have a general risk of thunder. That is just lightning. And the reason they issue these is because lightning can obviously cause problems. It's dangerous. It can cause fires. It can do a whole lot of things. That's why they issue these. You see this broad area. This tells me as we're getting into this evening and starting to see some of this snow unfold, we could have thunder snow in some of these areas because we have some instability that works in. So that's what that tells me. Now, if we go down to the excessive rainfall tab, I do want to note that we have areas highlighted by the Weather Prediction Center for excessive rainfall. Marginal risk of excessive rainfall, or it's essentially a 5% risk of exceeding flash flooding criteria, or something like that. So I know that's a pretty low chance, but there will be a lot of moisture moving ashore here, so please be careful. So moving on from that, we're going to look at all of the U.S. here. We're going to section it out. So I'm going to have timestamps up throughout this video. Please utilize those. Just use your timestamp and you can get out of here. Do whatever you like. So we're going to start with the southeast. And so we just work our way through the day here. And there's nothing going on. Very, very quiet day except for some rain showers in Florida. So I know that's nothing really crazy, but there's really just nothing for me to tell you. So temperature-wise, this is what our max temperatures could be. Make sure we reload it. So yeah, we have widespread 70s, even 80s in areas of Florida. We get 70s up to the Midlands of South Carolina, upper 60s through the Cumberland Plateau and kind of up the Mississippi River. So it really isn't until you get towards the Outer Banks that it cools off any of it at all. And when it comes to moisture in this area, we can expect none, except these little tiny trace amounts over areas of Florida. My head might even be in the way of those right here. So nothing crazy here. Very, very quiet day in the southeast. And then moving up the coast just a bit and reload this. So yeah, we do start to drop our temperatures off, get into the 50s as we get into areas of say Pennsylvania, even areas of Virginia. We start to get into the 50s, and then so let's move up to the northeast. Look at the H-R model. So starting off now, actually, I don't know why this is out there. So starting off now, it's picking up pretty well on some snow showers of the northeast. It's kind of just rolls around, doesn't really do a whole lot. Maybe some snow showers in Maine later, and then this is midnight right here. So that's officially out of our hair. It's gone. So moving on from there, temperatures in the northeast could look like this. Once you get north of Pennsylvania into New York, you start to see widespread 40s, even mid 30s. And as you get further into the northeast, there are areas that will not get above freezing. So very chilly day in areas of the far northeast, but kind of marginal, not too crazy. So moving on to the north central U.S. I don't know why I had these pulled back to the end like this, but anyway, starting off here, do you see these black lines, how close together they are? That tells me it's going to be very windy, and we'll look at that, like I said, just in a second. But yeah, very windy conditions, and you can see how as we get closer here to, it's about It'll be about 6 p.m., 7 p.m. This evening, we get this low pressure developing. A large area of snow develops in, say, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan. And you see these little cells, and this green here could have some embedded thunder. That's why they have that risk up. We will go over more of this with our short range model guidance in this evening's video. So I know this is a big deal for a lot of people. So if you're looking for that, please tune in this evening. I will have you guys an update kind of last minute. Here's just one model run of it starting. And I think this is pretty reliable. So if you're in the north central US and you're looking for a breakdown of it, I'll give you a very simple one. As we get closer to 6, 7, maybe 8 o'clock this evening, we start to see snow developing in North Dakota. And there's bands of it here developing in areas of central Minnesota, northern Minnesota. It kind of fills in. So this is about 11 p.m. tonight. We have a strong surface low, very windy conditions, and we have areas of snow in North Dakota, Minnesota, the Great Lakes region, kind of the UP of Michigan, and northern Wisconsin. So again, we'll go over this a little bit more in this evening's video, but there's a simple breakdown for you right there. Temperature-wise, we're going to start a little bit further to the east and work our way up. I'm going to reload this. So we have a temperature gradient here. You can see in areas of like the UP of Michigan, lower Michigan, Wisconsin, the southern half of Minnesota, it's kind of warm. As you work your way down here towards the plains, you can see it temperatures drastically increase. But I think across most of areas of the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, it's a kind of average day. The Ohio Valley's in the 50s, maybe 60. As you work your way up into the Great Lakes, you get into the 40s. Some areas, again, will not get above freezing. Working your way into the north central plains, the north central U.S. here, you can see areas of North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin here on this map. And you can see it drops off pretty quickly. You have 70s down here and maybe even 80 in Nebraska here, and then 32 in far northern North Dakota. So temperature gradient here. So I will also show you, because you're going to get snow, the low temperatures today are quite cold in this area. So after the sun goes down and you lose daytime heating, the environment will become quickly supportive of more when it comes to all of this snow. So looking at the wind in this time frame, let's see here. So yeah, very, very windy conditions across all of this area. You can see it pretty clearly here. These are expected wind gusts from the National Weather Service over all of these areas. So you see widespread 40s in this red. Areas where it turns yellow, and areas of even South Dakota here, that is over 60 miles an hour wind gust. This is in miles per hour, so a lot of windy conditions. And when you look at snow, this is expected snow from the National Weather Service. So you can see this band of it here. I mean, they're calling for 10 inches in north central North Dakota here. You can see over 6 inches expected into areas of northern Minnesota, and then you can see along the Minnesota border, or bordering the Great Lakes areas and getting into Wisconsin, these totals can go up to 1.5 feet, maybe even closer to 2 feet. So quite a lot. When you look at ice, Glazed trace amounts are possible in the transition phase of this, so watch out if you do manage to get some ice. Be careful with travel. So working our way down to the south central U.S. and starting this off right now, you can see there's some energy rolling through the four corners. Doesn't really go anywhere. And again, you see these black lines getting closer together here. Very windy conditions. We'll go over that in a second. And here's about 11 p.m. midnight or so. So not really anything to speak of in the south central U.S. And as for temperatures, very, very warm day in areas of Texas and Oklahoma here. We might get into the mid 80s, even 90 in far southern areas of Texas. So very warm day. A lot of areas of the deep south are in the mid 70s or higher. And areas of central Texas, 80 will be a common number. Now, if we look at the wind gust from this, very windy conditions as you get into the panhandles of both Texas and Oklahoma, as well as Kansas. We'll move this up in just a second. So windy conditions here. And yeah, so that's what we're going to look at there. Now here is the central U.S. exactly. You see Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, all of this good stuff. Your high temperatures look like this. We might hit 80 in areas of Kansas, Oklahoma, maybe even southern areas of Nebraska. Surrounding areas obviously are a little bit cooler, and you can see once you get towards the Rockies, you see some wild temperature gradients here. But the Front Range of Colorado could remain in the 60s, and then eastern areas of New Mexico could also remain in the 60s, maybe even 70s. When it comes to wind gusts in this time frame, in this area, this is a really, really big deal. We have even as much as maybe 80 miles per hour. I don't know if they're calling for that, but there's just little areas here where it really picks the wind up. So areas of the panhandle of Texas, Oklahoma, western areas of Kansas, western areas of Nebraska, obviously eastern areas of Colorado, New Mexico, and Wyoming. Very, very windy conditions, and you can see even breezy conditions extend out. So all that being said, if you're in, say, Kansas and Nebraska and you get a fire going outside, well, it's going to spread very, very rapidly. So please don't burn anything. Moving up to the northeast, starting off now, you see just a lot of energy rolling through. Just a lot of snow mainly, kind of rolling, it's pivoting through. Very hard to forecast specifically, but just a lot of areas. You have, if you live up in the northwest corner of the U.S., you have a decent shot at seeing snow. That's just the way I'm going to put it. So temperature-wise, in areas of Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, we can see that we have a lot of, it's kind of a chillier day. Maybe not for you guys' standards, but we have 40s in the kind of average elevated regions, the valleys, 40s or so. Once you get into the ridge tops, obviously it's much colder. So again, kind of hard to forecast because of all of these little changes. And then moving into the northwest corner of the U.S., it seems to be a chillier day than it was yesterday, for sure. Maybe more cloud cover, more moisture rolling through these areas. I don't think we're going to break 50 in most of the northwest today. And when it comes to the total amount of precipitation, you can just see it here. There's areas where you don't get any, but there's also, you have a decent shot at snow in a lot of areas of the northwest. So I don't think this was a huge, wind gust wise wasn't a huge area. So put this back here and we'll move on. So in the southwest, that's our last section. Starting off now, again, just a lot of moisture. This is, you can see areas of California with this heavier precipitation. This is why we have an excessive rainfall outlook thing down there, that 5% risk of exceeding flash flooding criteria. Just a lot of moisture rolling on shore, higher elevation snow, lower elevation rain, especially in areas of California. So when it comes to temperatures, in the desert southwest areas of Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, all these areas, again, it's kind of hard to tell you a specific number. It's cooler than it was yesterday, I'll tell you that. Areas of the desert will obviously be warmer, but most of the valley regions will be in the mid 50s, maybe even low 50s, upper 40s. And then obviously there'll be some areas that probably break 60, and then the ridge tops will be much colder. Moving into the actual like southwest corner of the U.S., you can see the valley areas of California are, it's a pretty marginal day, just kind of in the 50s, maybe getting into the 60s or 70s down into the southern areas of California. So all that being said, I'm gonna reload this because this loop, when I first started this video, it's been about 15 minutes. Yeah, we don't have, so I'm just gonna go back here. So thank you guys for watching. Tune in this evening for your updated pattern, storm discussion as we'll go over all of that. And one more thing, if you're here at this point in the video, thank you guys for reaching the subscriber goal that I have set down here in the bottom left corner. I had to actually change that number this morning, so appreciate that as always. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing videos like this as much as I can. A morning video for your daily weather, evening video for the pattern. So if you appreciate that, like this video and subscribe to the channel. All that being said, I will see you guys in a matter of about 12 hours from now. So I will see you guys then. Thank you guys for watching.